The Poundcast is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Whether you're trying to save money, eat better, or stress less, HelloFresh is here to help you do all three.
Say hello to your most delicious year yet with fresh ingredients and chef-crafted recipes at a price you'll like, delivered right to your door.
Go to HelloFresh.com/poundcast free and use Poundcast free for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active.
That's free breakfast for life at hellofresh.com/poundcastfree with code poundcastfree. Now, Brant, speaking of websites, this is other website I was checking out. It's called lvjco.com, one of our other sponsors. My favorite plant-based jerky is what you're gonna find at LVJco. That's lvjco.com, Louisville Vegan Jerky Company. They make Louisville vegan jerky. And if you use the code word Poundcast, you'll get 20% off your entire order. And I'm looking at their site now. They have all the classics. They got General Tso's Buffalo Dill, Smoky Carolina Barbecue, my favorite. And of course, they got these new small batch flavors: Farby's Roast Beef and Cheddar, Holiday Dinner Feast, to name a few. Pizzeria Supremas sold out? No. That's why you got to act fast and go to lvjco.com and use the code word Poundcast. Get that 20% off. And oh my gosh, they're having a fire sale on the Louisville vegan toppins. And if you paid attention to what I've been up to in the last several years, you've probably seen the music video that Sir Spence and I made for Louisville vegan toppins. So, I mean, that's the gist of it right there. You can use the code word Poundcast, get 20% off. Now, this stuff has a shelf life of 9 months. It is made in Louisville, bagged in the USA. I mean, they tell us to say bagged in the USA, but I think it goes without saying. The whole dang thing is made in Louisville, Kentucky, because we went to the plant. Isn't that right, Brent?
Right.
This is
It right. It right.
that it right.
Got it right,
bro.
Got it right.
Yeah, and you can, if you don't want to order it, you can get it at the store. I've seen this product at my local Sprouts has it. They have it at, they have some flavors at Whole Foods. Anywhere where they sell delicious snacks, you might find it. But once again, use the code word Poundcast at lvjco.com. Get yourself 20% off. And you better hurry. You better do it quick. It's a new year. It's time to start fresh with a fresh bag or 6 of Louisville vegan jerky.
It's a new year.
It's a new year. Get some new flavors in your life.
And you know what? While you're at it, how about I got a New Year's resolution for you. How about make your resolution be, I'm going to become a Patreon subscriber to the Poundcast, because we are on Patreon. Patreon.com/Poundcast. And your resolution could be, I want to listen to more Poundcast. I can't get enough. I'm going to make my life more fulfilling by getting bonus time with the boys.
Yeah, when the Poundcast ends, I'm like so depressed and I don't know what to do with my life. I wish I could keep listening. Well, now you can, because every episode we go behind the Patreon paywall, which isn't a big paywall, by the way. And we keep talking and we keep the games going and we keep having more fun and more chats and more laughs. And like Brent said, go to patreon.com/Poundcast. Sign up today. Be a proud pimple. Be a proud pimple and join us at patreon.com/Poundcast. Okay.
I got top 10 lists on there.
What else is that? We got videos on there. We got Brent makes. What did you put up there recently? Your top 10 Janet Jackson songs?
Well, no, that was a while ago, but yeah, that is on there.
That is on there.
I got top 5 Stevie Wonder songs,
Oh yeah, that's the one I saw recently there.
and then I'm gonna put up a Billy Joel top 5 coming up. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of fun, and then you could go on there and talk about other songs you like. I actually had top 5 Michael Jackson songs too. With all the talk about
That
Michael
had to be a
Jackson on the show,
tough. That had to
I
be a
know you're
tough.
dying.
Yeah,
I know you're
that had to,
dying to know the top 5 Michael Jackson
that had to
songs.
be a tough list.
It is kind of hard to make. Yeah, very hard. It's so hard to make that list that I couldn't even do more than I couldn't even do a full top 10, you know?
That's tough, bro. That's a tough choice, brother. Now look, we want to say that we're also on YouTube, youtube.com/the Poundcast. We are on social media, the Poundcast. Not every social media. We're not on LinkedIn, but you get the idea. The ones that you're using. We're gonna probably be on there at the Poundcast if you want to check that out. And this episode is, you know, edited and by our friend Jack Birch. So shout out to Jack. Sweetjack.com is his Instagram handle. Check him out. And I guess that's about it.
I've I have one thing real quick.
Sure.
Last week during the intro, I mentioned about because someone was asking about top 10 or top 5 smooth jazz tracks. And I said that it's such a broad topic and it's kind of hard to define what is smooth jazz, but I guess I could try to just do that. I want to ask you guys a question. Olvera Street by Gordon Brisker. Let me know, do you think that would be, I don't consider that smooth jazz, but it is jazz fusion. And I feel like a lot of jazz fusion can be thought of as smooth jazz. Let me know if that's probably not smooth jazz. Let me know. Actually, never mind. Forget that. Forget that. I'll just be the judge of what smooth jazz is. You know what I mean? I'll just be the judge.
Jazz is in the ear of the tromboner. I don't know, something like that.
The tromboner.
Trying to think of beholder, tromboner. It kind
Yeah,
of works, you know.
yeah, that works. Yeah, that is good. No,
Why
I
was the
will try.
jazz man? Why was the jazz man embarrassed on stage?
He had a tromboner.
Because he had a tromboner.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Why
I will
didn't
try to
why
do a
didn't
top.
why didn't Brent date the jazz musician?
Why didn't he date the jazz musician? Why?
Because she had a trumpet. She had
That's
okay.
good. That's
All
pretty
right.
good.
We got to get
Yeah.
the show. We got to put the show. We got to get the show started. We got a lot of great stuff for you today. We got the game. I got a little game which Brent played along with, and you could play along with too. And we also, I don't know, we talked about the cruise I went on a little bit, and we had a lot of fun. So let's
You know
get
what?
into it.
You know what's crazy, by the way, about the shows? Some of those shows. I mean, who watches those shows anyway?
You'll, yeah. Don't think about that now. We didn't even get to there yet.
No,
Let's.
I know, but anyway, I resolved to. I will try to do a top list of smooth jazz tracks. So okay,
All right, let's roll the clip. We'll get into it.
let's roll it. Let's roll it. Okay.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends, and Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast. And away we go. Today is the Poundcast day of the day.
It's the Poundcast of the day.
That's today's the Poundcast of the day. Welcome. I am back. How was your chat with Jack Birch last week?
It was good. It was good. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it was fun, cool. You know, I don't know. Maybe.
Did you say? I think it was fucking cool. It kind of sounded like you said that.
No,
It'd be so funny if you just started swearing hardcore like that.
Why did it sound like that? Did I break up or anything?
Oh, remember? Yeah, I think you did glitch, but let's see if it stays steady now. Remember we were playing that game the other night Somebody was swearing up a storm. It was like that game where you got to guess who's the liar.
Yeah, the resistance.
Resistance, yeah. Somebody was swearing up a storm. I'm like, dude, you're in the resistance. You're the way you're swearing right now.
Right. Well, yeah, and I don't know if they were swearing because
But
I mean they were a spy,
he wasn't a spy, I don't
but
think.
he turned out to he he turned out to be a spy. Yes.
He was? Was that Mikey?
You talking about M? Yeah. He was a spy.
Okay, well maybe that's anytime somebody swears, I'm gonna say you got to be a spy. Anytime
Right, right,
they
right,
swear
right,
about
right.
anything, you know?
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Also, it was funny. Yeah, I mean, not to get
what?
into too much of it, but the way he did reveal that one fail card and didn't even show the rest, that
Oh
was a
yeah,
tell as
a lot
well.
of tells. I don't like those kind of games where
Yeah.
there's like where you're the one has to lie and like chameleon. Like I guess they're kind of fun, but they if you're the one doing I'm bad at the being the liar. And
Me too.
yeah, I don't know. That's just
I
there's
hate being the
I
liar.
saw that one of the other spies that I pointed him out. I'm like, you're probably a spy right away. He was shaking. His hand was like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? You talking about M? A different M.
N or M?
Or R.
R was shaking.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's nerve wracking. It's nerve wracking to lie, but also I don't like lying. But you know what's worse than when than being in the lying position is when you're innocent, when you're not the spy, and people think you are, and you
Yeah.
can't,
Well,
and you're
I thought
telling
you
the
were the
truth, and
spy.
no
I
one
thought
believes
you
you.
were the
That's
spy
even worse.
based on how much you were like running the table, like
No, I
anything you
wasn't.
could do could be suspicious. It's like, well, why are you talking so much? You must be a spy.
I wasn't even talking that much. I and in fact, I was kind of going, look, I don't care who's on this team. I want it to be these three who I trusted, and I don't care who else you put on there.
Yeah. Anyway, game night's
But
fun. I got to do more of those.
uh,
Because you know what? I'm sick of being in these loud places. And I find myself, I don't know if I talked about this. It's kind of a New Year's resolution kind of thing, but doing stuff that I don't really want to do or being in a place I don't really, I find myself, uh, for example, I was on the cruise
mhm.
and cruise was fun, by the way. It was more fun than I expected. The whole the Impractical Jokers are cool.
Did
met two of
did they
them.
do any pranks? They did
There
any
was no
pranks on you?
pranks. No, there was no pranks. I watched Steve-O pee in his own mouth. He
Really?
he
Wow.
came on stage during the one of the Eric Andre shows as a special guest because Eric does this thing where he gets people from the crowd to chug ranch, do the ranch challenge and see if he can
Yeah.
who could chug a bottle of ranch the fastest.
Ugh,
And the
ugh.
people on the cruise, well, he brought Steve-O up because a lot of times no one's really chugging it too quickly. It usually takes a while. And he goes, "Here's a special guest to show you how to do it." And Steve-O actually chugged Italian dressing. I think he might be vegan or something, but maybe that's why. Anyway, he chugged it in like 5 seconds. It was like boom.
Oh gosh.
And then Eric's like, "Well, thank you, Steve-O, for demonstrating how to do it." And then Steve-O goes, "Wait, you know what? What if I drink my own pee?" And then Eric's like, "Yeah, of course, sure." And then I can show you a photo of it. Uh,
I mean,
I can
what? So
pull
did
that
he
up.
take his whole penis out and everything, and he peed in his mouth?
Oh yeah, yeah. It
He
was
just he shot it into his mouth.
he basically Felipe Esparza was there too.
Yeah.
By the way, I love that guy. He's so funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's funny. He shoot, I'll have to look that picture up later, but I'll show it in after the unzipped. They held him by his like legs, they held his ankles, each had in one ankle. So imagine Steve-O's upside down, the wiener's facing towards his mouth, and he peed into his mouth. Like his head was like cranked up on the floor,
Yeah.
and he did it.
You know, I
And the crowd
yeah.
went crazy. I mean, it was like outrageous. You know,
Did it get pee everywhere?
he didn't have like a full bladder. It didn't seem like it was more of a dribbling.
Uh-huh. Well, I will say this. I think it's I do think it's kind of pretty cool that he just doesn't need to use drugs or alcohol or anything to do wild things like that. That
Yeah,
he's still he's still capable.
he can still be wild as hell. You
He can
know.
still be a wild boy
Yeah,
and do that stuff. I think that's cool. It just goes to show you.
just goes to show you don't need all
If you
that
put
stuff.
your mind to it, you can do anything.
That's right. Okay. What else? Yeah, the cruise was cool. I thought I was really nervous when I did my first show. Um, but you know what? The crowd there liked me on the boat. Everyone on the boat was there to see comedy, right? And you know,
What were you
I
nervous
know
for?
the Impractical Jokers, their audience is, I mean, they're on cable like all the time. So it's like regular middle America type people.
I see.
People perhaps that aren't into more experimental comedy that I try to do, right?
Mhm.
They loved it. I was walking
Good.
around that ship. They're all like, DJ, you were great last night. They're all calling me DJ. So yeah,
That's cool.
the cruise went good. It
How
was
many days was that cruise? Were
I did
you out at
seven
sea?
shows. I did 7 shows in 4 days. So I was busy a lot, you know?
Wow. And so you were out at sea for 4 days.
Yeah, so basically we shoved off Monday like afternoon or evening, you know, it had to be like 5, I think 6 p.m. is when the boat left. And then we got off the boat Friday morning at like 8 a.m. First thing in the morning. Uh and you know, I heard the food wasn't good, but turns out there's a buffet, a free buffet like that's open all morning and pretty late. There's other restaurants you can make reservations at, fancier stuff like Hibachi, a steakhouse. I never went to those. And then there's like in the artist areas, there was like food that they would have for us, but those are limited selections. It would be, you know, like you're at the wedding and there's that little burner at the bottom of the big tray, those
Yeah.
kind of deals. They had those. But it turns out the chef at the buffet, he was Indian. So they had a little Indian section. That's where I hung out.
Yeah. Oh.
Got the dal every day. I got the dal.
Any I don't know if you want to answer this, but any what do you call them? Maritime connections? I don't that
Oh,
doesn't
did
really
I
make
like hook up
any
with
no,
anyone
I
on the boat?
any maritime romances, I don't know.
No. No. I would say no, but I did, you know, I met nothing like that happened. You know, I didn't like take anyone back to my bunk or anything like that. But I met a few people and hung out with met some people out there and like socialized a little bit with there's some cool people on there. No like romances or anything like that.
Yeah. Now,
Some other
you had
people maybe, not me though.
did you have your own bunk?
Well, I had my own bed, but you know, there were 6 people to a bunk to
Is
a
that right? Oh, six
No,
people
I'm
to a
kidding.
bunk.
No, I had my own room. I had my room.
That's kind of neat. The room feels like a regular hotel room.
Yeah, it was like a small hotel room, and I had a little balcony too. So like I can open a sliding door, and there's the sea right out there.
Huh. Was there ever any turbulence, or I don't know if that's what it's called for a boat, but
You know, Eric was kind of scared of it at first. He was like texted me because he was worried about the boat. It was rocking back and forth, and sometimes when you're in the front of the boat, you'll hear like a boom. It's like a the whole thing shakes, but I think it's just like a big wave comes or something. And there's sometimes the big theater we performed at was at the front. So that's the most like, you know, the ship is going like this. So the
Mhm.
front is the most shaky part.
Hmm.
There's a couple times when I was a little um swing back and forth during my set. But nothing. No, it was like the C's were pretty
But
normal.
when you were swaying back and forth, it just made it look like the music was moving you guys.
Yeah, I
That was
mean,
just the power of
a,
the DJ.
a lot of people had these patches and things to help them not get seasick. I didn't see anyone get seasick or look like they were barfing or anything.
There was no
I didn't take any
there was no
Dramamine or anything like that.
diarrhea sort of waterfall that came out, or there was no big gush of diarrhea anywhere.
Well, there probably was a lot of that, to be honest. There probably was a lot of that. Anyway,
Well, anyway, all right. Well, look,
I was happy to get the gig.
yeah, I mean,
But
well, I mean, you're talking about boats over here. I had something that I had this sort of observation recently. Well, it's kind of part of it's been the last couple of years, but it's about cars, and I kind of was curious about sharing it with you and the Poundcast listeners. It's not really a funny observation, but I just thought it was interesting. I don't know if you guys want to hear about it.
let's go.
Okay. Well, over the last couple of years, I started paying more attention to license plates in California, and I started noticing certain patterns about the structure of them. Well, particularly in the last month or so, but a couple years ago, I realized that, and this applies only to regular California white plates, that are not, custom plates,
Right.
and it doesn't apply to ones that are, black or blue, different color ones, just standard regular
Right.
plates. I realized, and trucks are a different format, by the way. So I'm not talking about trucks either. I noticed that recently, that trucks have a different format than regular.
You talking
cars.
like commercial trucks?
Any kind of truck, any pickup truck
Even a
has a
pickup
different.
truck. Different.
Pickup trucks have different. It's a different format or a different, something like that than regular plates. So anyway, regular plates in California, the structure is there's a number, and then there's 3 letters, and then 3 numbers. It's like that for all of them. So one, that can help you memorize a plate. If someone's doing something weird on the street and you need to memorize a plate, you just got to know the first number, and then you can kind of almost create an acronym or something for the 3 letters, and then you get the 3 numbers. Now, by the way, I haven't looked anything up to see if I'm to kind of learn more about it. I'm thinking about it, but I also kind of like the idea of figuring this stuff out for myself in a way. So that was for the last couple of years. I've noticed that, it's as simple as that. There's seven, I don't know, characters, and number, 3 letters, 3 numbers. But what I started to notice in the last month or so is that I started noticing a pattern with these numbers, particularly the first number of the sequence. I noticed a correlation between that number and how new a car is. I think, from what I've been able to gauge, the first number. So something I noticed was that most of the time when you look at a car on the street, you're going to see 8s and 9s. And I thought, and it seems like, and then you'll see actually quite a bit of 7s as well. But and then you'll also, they're not as common. You'll see 6s and 5s, and sometimes even 4s, but you never see 3s or 2s or 1s as the first number. And I was thinking that for the last month or so, and I really started, it seemed like the older cars, or the cars that were, there's a correlation obviously between the condition of a car and how old it is, unless it's some kind of hot rod that someone keeps in nice condition. But generally speaking, when a car's in, not in as great a shape, it's going to probably be because it's older. And I noticed that, these older cars, the ones that were in, worse condition, those are usually those were going to be 4s and 5s, and then the brand new cars are going to be 9s and 8s. So it was like, I don't know, I thought that was interesting, that it's almost like the car's ranked almost, like, he's got a 9, that's a nice condition, but Um, and then but then recently, just a couple days ago, for the first time, I saw three on parked on the street, and it didn't even look like it was in that bad of condition. But I thought, oh wow, it must be an old car if it's a three. I think there's a correlation between the first number on a license plate and
Well,
so
you, I bet, in LA3, if you drive that to like Missouri, it's probably going to be like more of an, a seven. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
I'm looking at my
um,
cars right now, and one of them's an eight. I got an eight, but it's a 2016. Maybe
yep,
that
that
still
checks out.
still fits in with the eights.
Well, I have a 2017 car and it's an eight.
It's an LA eight.
And so I think that wait, is that yeah, that's your yeah, so I mean cars that are probably came out. I wonder how that breaks down and if I'm even if this is even true, you know. And by the way, again, this only applies to California. If you look at any other states have a different format, you know. Other states will have three and then three. There'll only be six characters. And then also I did kind of notice with trucks that I don't know how many characters there are on a license plate for a truck, but it does seem like they're all numbers except for the second to last character is a letter, maybe. Anyway, I'm curious if there's more to it than that. I wonder if there's something to the letters and something to the other set of numbers. You know, I wonder if there's more to it. I
Hmm.
haven't looked it up because I've been. It's almost kind of like a puzzle or something, figuring out. Oh, there is. Seems like there's a pattern here, but anyway,
Interesting.
not
Well, I,
maybe
I
the
wonder. I wonder if somebody is at the if it's somebody's job. Like what would your job be? To be the person to figure out the code of like or program like in the computer like how to spit out. If you go to the DMV, they're gonna spit you out a plate. Or if some guy's back there like thinking, okay, how about I start? I've been doing my nines, and he just like writes them out.
Well, I wondered that. I wondered if okay, maybe it's not really about how new a car is, but just at a certain point they run out of sequences that start with eight. We've done all the combinations that start with eight. Now we got to move to nines, and I wonder. And then I also kind of wondered, in a few years, are new cars going to have or start with ones or zeros or whatever? Is it going to flip over again? So that's just
Something to think about.
again, it's not very funny, but it's just I don't know, I just thought it was interesting.
It's an observation. Sometimes you observe things. Us comedians, us truth tellers. We're observing things,
Yeah,
and
you know what? If it was going to be a comedy bit, I guess the bit would be that
yeah, make it funny. You
it
gotta
is
make that
almost
funny.
like you're ranking something on its how nice it is in a way because, like I said, there's a correlation between the newer the car. Generally speaking, it's going to be in nicer condition than a car that's older than that. So it is kind of like saying, "Ooh, man, that's a nine right there." I mean, it's almost like the way that people rank
Well, yeah,
looks
people
stuff.
want to have their status. If it starts to be a status symbol, you know what I mean? They're gonna find a way to like get those lower numbers or whatever.
I mean, higher.
Higher numbers, my bad. Yeah. Um, I'm putting my game together. I have a game, but I was gonna say earlier, my New Year's resolution. I
Yeah.
might have said this already, but like when I'm in a situation I don't want to be in, I'm kind of a people pleaser, and I'll
Hmm.
just sort of. Well, there's two things here. One thing I notice is that a lot of people um tell me things, and it's like they don't want to listen. They just want to like tell you what their thing is.
Mm.
Does that happen to you a lot?
That happens. Well, yeah. I mean, it
Or-
happens particularly kind of recently. I mean, in December to me with
Really?
somebody.
Is it a friend?
No, it was somebody. I was. I went on a trip right to Mexico,
Oh, yeah.
and there was someone on the trip that was really like that. They just did not. they'd even ask questions, and then I'd answer, and then they wouldn't be listening. I thought, why'd you ask me this? Did you want?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if the pandemic screwed up people's ability to like have a conversation or something, but I just noticing it more and more recently where it's like I'm talking to someone and they just like have something to tell me, and sometimes I don't even it just they just start saying stuff and I'm like trying to listen, and I'm like after a while I'm like, "Wait, what are we talking about?" Like, "Huh?" Like there's no like no one's asking me about. They ask me to get something started because they have something they want to say, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like it'll be like, "Hey, Brent, do you ever wear hats?"
Occasionally,
Well,
if
because I got
I
this hat, I'd be like that. I'd be like, "I got this hat, and I want to tell you all about my hat," and like I don't you don't even get to say what you like. That's just like kind of like a sort of like what I'm talking about.
yeah, well, I've thought this more and more, that people people act weird socially.
People are
I mean,
weird socially,
I
and
think
here's my other thing. Yeah,
yeah, the older I get, the more I just see that more people are just weird socially, in general. I mean, that finding people to have normal conversations with is, I don't know, less seems less common than when I was younger. I don't know.
yeah. Well, the other thing I'm trying to do is like if I'm in a situation or a place that I don't really like want to be at, like say I'm at a party or I'm at a show and it's like I just want to leave, but sometimes I'll stick around because I feel kind of obligated. I'm trying to just like if I don't want to be somewhere, just leave.
Hey, yeah, I mean, hey, I've been doing that for a while.
And sometimes I go to, I'll go to an event with like some friends and it's like, well, why don't we all just drive together? Nah. Nah, I ain't can't do that anymore.
Oh, because you want to have the ability to leave.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm just tired, I'm out, and we have to stick together, and it's like I'll feel kind of obligated to like, I guess I'll stay at this thing that it's too loud or I don't like being here or whatever.
Well, I'll tell you this.
I'm
Yeah,
sick of like doing stuff to please other people, and I'm kind of like, if I want to go to bed or if don't want to do anything, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just gonna stop pleasing everyone else.
yeah, I never did anything to please anyone
It's not really
necessarily.
like it's not like pleasing people, but it's more of like if I want to like do my own thing, I'm just gonna do it. And I'm not gonna worry about what other people if they're having a good time. Like everyone should just worry about themselves. It's not like I'm trying to be screw everybody. I'm like, if it's jiving and we're all talk say we're like at a thing, at a birthday party and we're all talking and having a good time, then we are. But if we're not, or I'm not part of it or something, then and I don't really want to stick around because I gotta wait for them to blow out the candle or whatever, then maybe I'll leave. Or in my mind, I'm trying to be more like that. And I don't care if I'm not the kind of person that's like, why didn't they stick around for so and so? It's like I respect everyone's boundaries or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Kind of a
sure.
thing.
Yeah. Well, I used to hate. I know I didn't. I used to love hanging out at really crowded places. And I was happy to go to a bar or whatever. But by the time I was in my late 20s, I just started to really not like those environments, just bars. They're just so sticky and too and too loud. And I want to have conversations with people. I don't want to have to yell. So, and by my
Absolutely. I mean,
by the by the time I was in my late twenties,
that's basically what this all boils down to. And I've said
well,
this
yeah.
before, and I sound like a broken record, but I'm sick of being in loud places.
Well, by the time I was in my late 20s, anytime people were saying, "Yeah, we're gonna go to a bar. You want to come?" My thought is, no, no, I'm all right. I just don't. I just don't enjoy being in those environments anymore. They're just makes me have to yell, and it's just sticky and just too much. I don't like that anymore. I like to have conversations with people. I like to
Yeah.
be around people,
That's why I'm
but I
creating.
want to connect and have,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
trying to create, and because like no one else is doing these. Well, we hung out the other night and it was fun at our friend's party and played some games and stuff. Like I'm kind of into that, where you can
Well,
talk.
yeah, well, I mean,
And I did a
notice.
picnic last week, just kind of last minute, and tons of people came, and it was crowded. Not crowded. I mean, we're in a park, but that's what I'm trying to curate my own. If I don't, I'm not going to come. If I don't like the bars or whatever as a social event, I'm going to create my own thing. And that's what I've been
Well,
doing.
at our friend's party, there wasn't loud music blasting. There was no music at all. In fact, it wasn't a loud music blasting, and it was, there wasn't anyone there that was loud, belligerent, or anything. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Yeah, it was
It was
also
just
it was all comedians, so we're all gonna be like joking around. So it was like
uh, not all comedians. There was some non-comedians there.
mostly people that are like adjacent at least, or fun people to joke around with.
And by the way, there was only, when we say party, there was about 20 people there. It
Right.
was not like a rager or something. Not that I mind ragers either if you find the right pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to sound like some cranky old guy. Who cares?
What was the other?
I can
Oh yeah.
rant.
You know what? This show is sponsored by HelloFresh. No more staring blankly into the fridge wondering what to make for dinner. Give HelloFresh a try and dig into their biggest menu yet with over 45 recipes to choose from each week.
Ditch the meal planning blues and grocery store run with quick, convenient recipes delivered right to you. Choose your meals and select your delivery date. HelloFresh handles the meal planning and shopping, so all you have to do is open your weekly box of fresh, pre portioned ingredients and step by step recipes to get cooking.
And guess what, Doug? I got cooking myself with
Oof.
HelloFresh. And I got to say, the meals were quite tasty. I had the spicy maple chicken with roasted green beans and mashed sweet potatoes. That was good. And I mean, it sounds like I really sincerely mean that. I had the one pan cheesy beef tortilla melts with green pepper and spicy cream sauce. And that one was cool because that one was especially easy to make, and there wasn't much cleanup, just one pan, as the name of the dish indicated. I also did the caramelized onion Swiss burger with roasted garlic, horseradish aioli, and potato wedges. However, since I'm the cook, I did it my way with no onions or garlic. So it was just a Swiss burger with horseradish spread and potato wedges. And that's what's nice about HelloFresh is that I can control which ingredients I use.
I did the same thing, Brent. I made some HelloFresh food too, and I made them vegan, even though they were pretty much vegan. But I made my favorite one. I'll just say was the spaghetti with Brussels sprouts, and man, that was really good. And actually, I thought I was gonna be able to finish the whole thing myself. I could usually clean my plate. That was a nice big portion, and
Yeah.
it was really good, Brent. I gotta say, it
Oh,
was
I mean,
delicious. And this not something I would. The cool thing about it is not something I would normally make. So that was it was fun.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Same here. Actually, it's not something they're give. I'm doing things I've never done before.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Um, Now you might be thinking, but wait, don't you also do ads for Green Chef? Well, yes, we do because Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh. And so with a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there's something for everyone. And now you can enjoy both brands at a discount.
Now check this out. You know how they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right?
Mhm.
Well, HelloFresh agrees. In fact, they're giving all subscribers free breakfast. Breakfast. You'll get a free breakfast item with every single HelloFresh delivery. Go to hellofresh.com/poundcast free and use code poundcast free for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active.
That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/poundcast free with code poundcast free.
HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
All right,
EA.
let's you want to play this game real quick?
Yeah, not real quick. I want to play it. I want to play it hardcore.
Play it hardcore.
I want to go nice and slow with this game. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I want to treat this game right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm not trying to go quick.
I mean, we played if anyone watches Office Hours, I played a few of these on the show. Um, but there's a lot more that we didn't get to. And basically, there's a lot of TV shows out there. There's so many streaming services and they all have their originals on there. Or there's just a lot of content and we can't watch it all. I don't watch a lot of shows. I watch ones here and there. I don't really watch a lot of TV. But there's so many shows out there. So I made a little game where you try to guess if the show is real or fake. You get it.
Mm.
Now there's no giveaways because I was saying that you could see the name of the file, but either way,
Oh, I'm not gonna. I won't even look at that.
I mean you can because it's just going to be the title of the show.
Oh,
You don't
okay,
know if
okay.
that's even real or fake. But let's start with this one: Blind Waters. And
uh,
if you want, you could try to guess what the show is about. Maybe that's kind of fun.
oh, that yeah, right. That's a good
Yeah, here we
idea.
go.
Um, Blind Waters. I mean, there's shows now on TV, reality shows that are these all reality shows or they
No,
might be. Okay.
no. Some of them are like maybe even movies. I can't even tell. I didn't look up what they are.
I feel like there's a lot more TV nowadays that is about people with, maybe impaired thing, maybe disabilities or something like that. And this could be a real show. I'm going to say it's fake, but it could be, if it was real, it would be a show about maybe blind sailors or something.
Or it could be about John
Wouldn't make
Waters
sense.
making a movie, with a blindfold on,
Without a script.
Well, Brent, you got that one wrong because that's a real
Oh
something.
my gosh. Wow.
Blind Waters, a Tubi original. And I found that Tubi has a lot of good stuff.
Wait, that's so interesting that
But look at that
Tubi.
girl. She's not even underwater. You can tell, like,
Right.
by her hair, it wouldn't look like that. And
Right. It's all kind of,
we
yeah,
should
right. That
watch
is so,
we should get together and
so
watch some of
ridiculous.
these and just give them a shot.
You know what? We should do that as maybe we could
We could do that
watch
as a
them and
as a
watch
Patreon.
as a Patreon thing. We upload it to Patreon. We won't get dinged.
No, we
Uh,
just watch it together on Zoom or something. I don't know.
yeah. Um, I didn't know Tubi had originals. That's crazy.
Warehouse 13. What do you think about Warehouse 13 and what could it be about?
Okay.
Some of these I
This
don't know. Some of these I don't know what they're about. I just know if the title is real or not.
Okay.
I
If it
mean,
was real, I think it's fake, by the way. But if it was real, I would think that it was about space equipment. You know, maybe leftover stuff. Well, from Apollo 13. Just different, maybe just equipment and stuff and they store it at this warehouse. And they go into the warehouse and kind of each item has a story. Oh yeah, we took that up. That was the, whatever that was the that was the outfit that we be in when we sent them. I don't know, something like that.
well, Brent, unfortunately, you're 0 for 2.
Oh my gosh,
Let's see what
season
it's about.
five,
Let me get the quick synopsis here.
season five.
Following an abrupt transfer, Secret Service agents Pete Latimer and Micah Bering find themselves in the middle of South Dakota at a massive top secret storage warehouse that holds every strange artifact, mysterious relic, out of this world object, and supernatural souvenir found by the US government. So it's kind of like an X
Well,
Files
okay,
maybe
yeah, yeah.
for government cover ups. Okay.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I didn't say I switched what I was gonna how I was gonna describe the show, but my original instinctual thought was that if Warehouse 13 was a real show, that it was about a warehouse that stores different items by the government that are related to paranormal or maybe something that related to aliens and stuff that stuff like that. I was actually kind of, but I thought it was I thought it was a reality show though. If that was my instinctual thing, and then I went with the Apollo 13 thing. But yeah,
Can you see my cursor here?
yeah,
Let's break down this cast real
you can
quick.
even
Now we got.
zoom in closer to it.
I mean, yeah, sure if we want, but okay, we got.
Maybe we can get up and
You know,
closer personal with these
he's
faces.
the hunky lead. He's in charge.
Yeah,
And this is sort of like the wild card younger guy that's just he's a hothead. He's sort of like, I ain't listening to that. Like,
right.
no, we got to get in there. And
He
he's like, no,
challenges.
we have to. And then she's like, I don't know. I'm just noticing that she's the only one that's not looking at the camera, so she's the most paranoid. Maybe she's sort of got a little bit of ESP or she's psychic or something. You know what I mean? And then
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
guy. He's like he's been around the.
She's looking at the aliens.
Yeah, this guy's real wise. I don't want to go on too much of the image for the listeners, but this is the why he's the real smart guy.
There's an older guy on there.
Yeah. And
I think
then
that the girl all the way to the right seems
he's
like
probably
she's
like
maybe the
really she's kind of a smart ass
nerd.
or something.
Yeah, or
She's
yeah.
nerdy, but she's cute and he likes her and he likes her for sure and I
How
don't know.
crazy is it that there's 5 seasons of this show? I mean, that's crazy.
Maybe it's good.
By the way, what was the synopsis of the first show, Blind Waters?
I could look it up. You think about this new one, Serial Wife.
Serial Wife. If I was to, I mean, see, none of these sound like real shows to me, honestly. Serial Wife. I would say this show, if it was real, I think it's fake. If it was real, I would say that it's about it's a reality show, or yeah, it's a reality show about someone who's just been in a lot of marriage. Well, not that doesn't work for a reality show. I think it must be. It could, yeah. If it was a real show, it's definitely about someone who's had been in a lot of marriages.
I
It's
would
kind of like
say
a dating show, but
if it was a real show, it would be a woman that she keeps, it's like kind of a horror drama where like she
oh, she
she
kills
keeps
all
her
her
husbands
husbands.
keep mysteriously dying and she meets this new
Right.
we start off with the new husband and we really start to empathize with him and he's a good guy and he's the one that like finally escapes the
Uh
reign of
huh.
terror that she's been unleashing on. But you got that one correct. That's fake. I just put a rant for the fake ones. I just kind of like type in the title into Dolly and whatever
Oh
spits
my
out,
gosh.
it'll spit out. But
But you're
Blind
right. That is
Waters, Blind Waters. What do you think it's about?
some kind of shark that is killing people. I mean, I don't know. It
Well,
seems like a Jaws. It's like a Jaws TV
yeah,
show or
it's a
something.
Jaws. It's a movie. An unrelenting shark turns a couple's dream vacation into a nightmare when they are stranded at sea.
Stranded at Sea. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you got one right, two wrongs.
Well, I
What do you think about Service Dog America?
I just it sounds fake to me, but if it was real, I would say that it's about it's a reality show that just it's about different service. It's kind of about different service dogs and the individuals they service. And it's just
Yeah. So you're saying it's fake, right?
that's no. I say oh I yeah. Well, actually, it seems like it almost could be real because I could see that being a show where they go around and see go around the country seeing different service dogs and their relationships with the people they service. And I don't know, it almost could be, but I'm just gonna go with fake.
Okay, you got that one right. But when I played that one with Moshe today, he was like, "That's real," because that does seem like a real show, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a reality show waiting to happen.
All
So
right.
many service dogs out there. People
All right.
love dogs. It's a
Yeah.
great, perfect reality show. Let's
Well, it's
go.
not, and it's not just that. People love dogs, and what's really trendy right now is again people with, special needs and
Yeah, for
disabilities
sure.
and stuff. That's really popular too.
We should just
So
pitch
you
this
get
as a show.
you get both. Yeah, you're right. That is wow. That's a moneymaker right there. We should pitch. I don't even. Let's pitch that.
I'll pitch it. My
Yeah,
idea.
I mean, it is your idea. Yeah, I mean, can I be an executive producer
Yeah,
or
you
something?
can be in
I
there
mean,
somehow.
let me
Yeah, you
get, let
can.
me start, let me just get a piece of this somehow. I mean, I don't.
Okay, this next one is called "We Bought a Funeral Home."
Bought a funeral home. We bought a funeral home. I mean, look, part of me wants to say that this is real just because I feel like we're due at this. I just have to go with fake. Um, because if it was real, it would be a reality show about just what it's like to have a funeral home business, and getting into that and stuff. It's like something like that. It's like a home shopping or not home. It's like a what do they call HGTV type of show, that kind of getting their funeral home ready, something like that.
Wait, what? You might have chopped up there. I wasn't sure if you changed your answer. Did you say real or fake?
I said that it was fake. I said we're due for a real one at this point, I feel, but I'm just going to go with fake. But if it was real, I'm
Right.
saying it's like an HGTV show where they, they're fixing up a funeral home to run as a business, a reality show.
Well,
Oh,
it's real.
yeah.
But I
I
think you're
thought,
right.
yeah.
Let's see. A family turns a funeral parlor into a weird and wonderful dream home. From bats to a slew of haunting surprises, the Blumberg family transforms an eerie 1800s Victorian funeral parlor into a weird and wonderful dream home, and it has them wondering if they're alone in this renovation
Oh,
adventure.
wow. What channel is that on?
Um, that is on Discovery Plus.
It's interesting because this family looks kind of dark. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
for the
they look
listeners, they're wearing.
perfect for the reality show.
No, I know. I don't know if they told them, "Hey, can you guys dress, with black in this?" And they're all wearing black. But the thing is the mom seems to have these tattoos on her arm, so she looks kind of edgy already, too. So, I'm kind of thinking maybe they are kind of a darker family in that they're into this kind of thing. They're into macabre type stuff. And
The daughter looks like they put her up to it. Can you just wear that black dress we bought you? She's like, okay, fine.
well,
The son's
yeah,
like, oh God, we got to pose for this. You know what I mean? He's got that look on
right.
his face. Deadly Dilf.
Okay, I mean, I'm sorry, but that just sounds. Wait, hold on. Is that dad? I'd like to. You know what? Is that? Well, never mind. Okay, so Deadly Dilf. That's got to be fake. I mean, if that's real, that's a mind blower because that just sounds so fake to me. Deadly Dilf. If it's real, it's about a. It's kind of like it's a dad. It's a kind of a dad that is an attractive dad, but he's a serial killer. Kind of like Serial Mom.
Let's find out. Um,
To be original, huh? That seems so fake to me. That seems truly fake.
well, here's the weird part. The synopsis doesn't seem to make sense
I mean,
because
yeah.
the synopsis says a young girl becomes obsessed with a man and tries to destroy his marriage. So how is the Dilf? How is he the? It sounds like she's the deadly one. You know what I mean?
Right. So you know what's crazy about this? This still looks fake. This poster looks fake. I mean, this doesn't look.
I know it looks AI,
I
but
mean,
I
and even
swear I just grabbed it from the website.
it's funny because it makes it look like. Wait, by the way, is this a movie or a TV show?
Uh it's a movie.
Oh,
It's a,
you've got movies in here.
well, it's a Tubi original.
I guess they're made for TV movies. I guess.
Yeah.
The even the To Be Originals thing looks like it was just put on there. It looks like it looks like you did make this, and then you just put the To Be Original on there.
I got a
I mean,
question. What does William Shakespeare say when he's going to open up his Apple TV?
when he opens up his Apple TV, what does William Shakespeare say?
Yeah, what does his girlfriend ask him?
What does his girlfriend ask him? Um, I just want to think about a good answer real quick before you give us the punchline. I'm just thinking of I'm thinking of Shakespeare plays. I don't know. Go ahead.
She says, "To be or not to be? What are we gonna
Ah,
watch?" Okay, this new one
that's
is
it.
called Game of Clones.
Yeah, I just can't fathom that this is real. I mean, it sounds like obviously it's a parody on Game of Thrones, and the fact that I just don't believe that. Okay, I'm gonna go with fake, but if it was real, I think that all right. They made a parody off of Game of Thrones because of the title, but I don't think it's a parody of Game of Thrones per se. I think it's a popular structure for a title because of Game of Thrones is one of the most popular shows of all times, which I've never seen, by the way. Game of Clones, though, I can't I can't even imagine what if this was real, what that would even be about. I guess it's a show like Multiplicity, like the movie Multiplicity or something like that. It's just about if it was real, it'd be about a just someone just there's clones. It's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something. I don't know. Yeah. Fake though.
So this real show is about MTV stars get the chance to date 7 exact clones of their celebrity crush. The
Wait,
clones
what?
might look the same, but they're all totally different people, forcing our dater to discover what qualities make their hearts melt and their skin crawl.
Whoa! Wait, what?
I wonder what
Whoa!
clone in this image does he have a crush on Drew Barrymore, or
You
who
mean
does she who does
Whoa,
she
this
root
is a
for?
very interesting show. I'm very interested in this.
I want to do it.
I want to do it too because okay, yeah, first of all, who is this supposed to be? I mean, who are they supposed to look like?
I want to watch this show now.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to guess that this looks like I mean, it could be someone like who is it? Actually,
I would have to probably look up the episodes and stuff, but I don't know.
what would be fun to do as another game? We could do this later is show pictures of the clones and then try to guess the celebrity. You have to look up the episodes to see who they're trying to look like, but maybe could this be Rachel McAdams? Could it be someone like Jessica Simpson? Could it
Yeah,
be
maybe. I mean,
could it be Jennifer no, it's not Jennifer Aniston. It's Rachel McAdams maybe or Jennifer something like that or I don't know. Reese Witherspoon? That's an interesting idea for a show
Oh, they
though
even
that
have one where there's a bunch of guys that look the same as.
yeah. I kind of want to watch this show
I know. It's a
because
crazy concept.
yeah, so the idea is look, they all look the same basically. It's really look, you're good to go. Looks wise, it doesn't matter what's going on here. It's all about who you're going to connect to the most on a deeper level. I like that idea. That's
Yeah,
interesting. It's
that's
kind of
cool.
just getting the physical part out of the way or just the way someone looks out of the way and now we're just going to deal with personality
Oh,
here.
you know what? Maybe I think here's what's going on. I think you say here's my ideal woman. She's blonde. She, is this tall or whatever. You describe exactly what they look like, and then they go cast them. They get 8 of them.
Oh, I thought that they said, "Is there a celebrity that you are like that want them to look like?" And we'll get
Yeah,
people
I
who
can't
look like that
tell.
because I kind of like the
Yeah, it
idea
does
of
say celebrity crush. I don't know. Maybe that was the first season. Maybe they swapped it out. All right, let's go to the next 14 houses.
wait. Just to imagine real quick though. Imagine if it was somebody like yeah, people say, because people would say this often. Well, I really like a Angelina Jolie. Can you get that? Imagine getting 10 Angelina Jolies, and you're all kind of deciding which one you like the most based on their personality. And I don't know, that's just such a weird, funny thing to make someone who, maybe whose looks are, I don't know, a prominent feature for them, or striking, and then you're not even, you don't care about that as much. You're just going off of I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, 14 houses. I'm gonna go with fake because I feel we're due for a fake at this point. But 14 houses. It must be. Yeah, what would this show be about? 14 houses. Maybe it's about, okay. It's a movie about, it's this neighborhood. There's only 14 houses in the neighborhood, and then but it turns out they're actually it's there's they're the only 14 houses that exist in this world. It's a government experiment, and they're just looking at these people in these 14 houses as they're kind of like lab rats or something, and they're just something like that. It's fake though, but
I was
that's what it would be
thinking,
about.
if it was real, it's a reality show about small town America where there's this one town where there's only 14 houses
Hmm.
and everyone knows each other, and it's like a reality show, but it's about the whole town. Like everyone in the town is a character.
Yeah.
That's another great idea, and it's fake. You got it. I didn't type 14 houses. That was from just another random image I found, but
Uh-huh.
pretty cool looking though, isn't it?
It's yeah.
Okay,
Doctor
next
Doctor.
is Dr. Romantic.
It seems fake to me, but I guess it's a doctor who's it's about a gynecologist who's always kind of seducing his seducing his patients.
Okay, let's reveal. Dr. Romantic um, is a real doctor story set in a small, humble hospital called Dal Dam Hospital. It is a story about people who meet Kim Sabu, a genius doctor, and discover real romance. I think it's a Korean show, but it is available. Look how tall those people. Look how tall they look. Don't they look crazy tall?
Well, that one guy does.
The woman on the left does too.
Yeah, I guess they
They
do.
just look really elongated.
Yeah. um.
Anyway, it's some kind of like uh,
So it's a reality show.
it says real doctor, but it's in quotes, so I don't know what the heck this is.
um. So it's also not just. I mean, it's foreign. I mean, it's from Korea, right? It's not.
Uh, shoot, I don't even know, man. It says
It
Canadian.
probably is
It's
because
hard
it's
to
a.
tell. There's not the information on this is.
Seems like the hospital is Korean. It has Korean lettering on it, so or Korean characters on there. So yeah. Okay, Doctor
Sorry,
Romantic.
I'm trying to look it up here.
And Doug pulled up the sequel. I guess it must be a movie. Doctor Romantic 2.
No, I think each season has. It's like this is the season.
Oh, that's season 2. Okay,
Season one,
okay.
season two.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Dude, I don't know. This doesn't say. When I look it up, it doesn't say reality show or what the heck, It just says a story about this surgeon, and it sounds like it's a drama, romantic drama kind of show.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, anyway, I just thought that was a funny title. Queen of Meth.
Queen of Meth. I just don't. I just think it's got. I mean, here's the thing about it. All these shows, they all sound fake to me. I'm just saying fake to all of them because they
Well,
all
that's
seem
the whole
fake.
that's the whole point of this game, because like these shows, they all sound fake.
Right. Queen of Meth. I wonder if that's about a female drug dealer. And and it's all, or yeah, or maybe, yeah, and it's kind of like Breaking Bad, but it's a woman though, and
But did you
they're
say that you think that one's fake or real?
I think it's fake.
Okay. Um, Queen of Meth is a three-part documentary series centering upon Lori Arnold, who was a major methamphetamine dealer in the Midwest. So it is
Oh, yeah,
it's real, but it's a like a documentary series.
yeah,
Her meth production and distribution operation was based on a 170-acre ranch in Iowa. So you're right about the synopsis.
yeah, yeah,
She's like
yeah.
a real life Breaking Bad kind of person.
Right. Royal autopsy.
Royal autopsy.
It's fake, but it's about, if it was real, it'd be about. I wonder if it would be about. I wonder if there if it was real, it'd be kind of like a National Geographic or a History Channel type show where they're not actually doing autopsies on bodies, but they're looking at tombs and things, or just like looking at King Tut's tomb or something like that, or uh, stuff like that.
Okay, well, it is real, but you're right about the synopsis. It is in this graphic history documentary, Professor Alice Roberts investigates the cause of death of two of Britain's most famous monarchs, King Charles II and Queen Elizabeth I.
Wait, what do they do with those?
They investigate the cause of death of
Oh,
famous monarchs, and they're separating facts from fiction.
oh, well, that's not what I was saying. I was saying
You started off saying basically they're looking into the autopsy of.
I
I
thought it
mean,
was more
it
like,
is what the title is. It is what the show is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 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 totally. Queen of Crypto. So you had Queen of Meth, and now you've got Queen of Crypto. It's got to be fake. I mean, it just seems like this was inspired. Queen of Meth inspired you to make Queen of Crypto. But if it was real, it would be about, you know what? I'm not gonna go with the obvious. I'm gonna go with this. It's sort of like a female crypt keeper, and it's kind of like Tales from the Crypt, but it's kind of a modern one, with a female kind of crypt keeper. Fake though.
Well, um, I picked this one to make you think that I did a fake queen one because this one's real too.
That looks like Amelie or something. Doesn't it look like Amelie? It's like a
uh,
picture from Amelie.
and this explores the biggest digital scams of the last decade by Bulgarian businesswoman Dr. Ruja Ignatova, who scammed investors out of billions of dollars in less than 3 years through her cryptocurrency brainchild OneCoin.
Huh.
So
It's
tricked ya.
crazy.
Twisted house sitter.
I mean, is it that's supposed to sound like Twisted Sister, kind of a little bit or something?
Maybe. I don't know. I like
Twisted House Sitter. That's got to be fake, but that's kind of an interesting idea. That, I mean, that could be fun as a show where it's it's about it's kind of a, yeah, it's a house sitter that is just does all kinds of crazy stuff in people's houses and stuff, and then they get some surveillance cameras and they see what's going on. Or maybe it's about, it is a reality show where they catch people on video doing crazy stuff in people's houses when they were house sitting or something like that. But it's fake though. So
A destitute young woman tries to swap lives with a successful woman she's crossed paths with. It's another Tubi original. Now, Brent, you got 3 right and you got 10 wrong.
how's that how's that happen? Because I just said fake for all of them.
Well, you keep going. Oh, that's got to be fake.
No, but what I mean is I said fake for every single one, so that means you only had 3 fake ones.
And there's not a lot of fake ones
Yeah, I guess that
because
not.
the real ones were so good. I wanted to use them.
Yeah. It's fake.
Untamed Goddess.
Untamed Goddess.
You gonna say
Gosh,
fake?
it's fake. It's maybe you know what it is though. This is I have an idea for this. If it was a real show, it's not. It's a fictional show. It takes place during Greek. It takes place during mythology, the times of mythology. And it's about a Greek goddess or a Roman goddess when she's kind of in her teens and she's kind of being kind of wild and getting into kind of adventure. So just imagine a teen Athena or something like that, and it's kind of like she's out of control or something like that, or even the Little Mermaid or something like that. It's something like that where she's out of control. She's just sowing her oats as a young, vibrant goddess, Athena or whoever, Aphrodite or whatever, Fake though. But if it was real, that's what it would be.
You're correct. I made that one up. And that's an AI image. I think I typed in Untamed Goddess. But I would imagine it would be, a reality show about a woman that like is sort of like a spiritual, it's about some spiritual woman that like lives on a farm or something like that.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
imagine it would be. Okay, a couple more. Yoda Untold Wisdom.
I can't imagine that this is. If it's a Tubi original, I can't believe they have some sort of Star Wars property.
Well, these are not all Tubies.
Yeah, they seem. Yeah,
so
but they should.
don't base it on that. But.
Well, they should be. I'm gonna. It's funny that Yoda. Now you've got a well-known property here. That Untold Wisdom. Yoda Untold Wisdom. I mean, I'm gonna go with fake. But it just sounds pretty funny though. Untold Wisdom.
Okay, you're right. Shark Side of the Moon.
Oh boy. Look, I want to say that this is real, but I also kind of at this point want to just commit to just doing fake for all of them because that's what I've been doing. If this was real, Shark Side of the Moon. I mean, I would have to say, oh, it's about these sharks that only come out at night. They study these sharks that they're night sharks. They're almost like vampire. Maybe they call them vampire sharks. And it's a kind of a National Geographic type show,
Well, it's real.
All sharks are kind of vampire.
It's a Tubi original.
That is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't believe that's real. That doesn't look real. In fact, I believe they use.
Well, it's not a real shark, but it's a real show.
I know. But I can't believe this is a real show. I mean,
I can believe it because they keep making these stupid movies, like Tornado Shark or whatever, Sharknado. So they're probably like, oh, there's a market for people who want to watch a stupid ass like show with a stupid title like that,
I just can't. This looks so fake to me. I mean, that looks like they made that with AI. Actually, this poster.
So basically, one scientist thinks the moon plays an important role in the migration and life cycle of the scalloped hammerhead, and he's on a mission to see if his hypothesis is true. If there's a tie between the hammerhead shark and the moon, there could be a tie with other shark species as well, with a profound impact on both science and conservation. Wait.
That's funny because
it almost sounds like a... Wait a second.
Well, that sounds like a real...
That sounds like a real...
nonfiction kind of show, But this right here...
I don't know where the hell that... There's another synopsis on IMDb that makes a lot more sense. Decades ago, the USSR developed unkillable sharks and launched them to the moon. Today, a team of American astronauts will endure the fight of their lives.
There's 2 shows called Shark Side of the Moon. That's crazy. But
what this show looks like...
All right, look, let me say what this looks like. This looks like a werewolf show, except instead of turning into a werewolf, it turns into a kind of a half, it's like a shark, a were shark. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it looks like a show about were sharks.
We should watch that movie too.
When there's a full moon, the person turns into a half shark, half man type of creature, you know?
I kind of want to subscribe to Tubi now.
Hell Gardens. Hell Gardens. I mean, my default is fake at this point. I have to commit to fake. But if it was real, I would say that it's probably a home improvement type of show where, you know, it's kind of like what do they call that show?
Hell's Kitchen.
Maybe is that where they try to just spruce up somebody's really bad backyard. You know, their backyard just looks like real crap, and pros come in and fix it up and everything, and that's what it is. You know, Hell Gardens, if it's real.
Well, that was fake. I just try to get 2 words, put 2 words together. So a lot of these shows are like 2 words, you know.
Hell Gardens sounds like that really could be a real show, by the way. If I wasn't committing to fake, I would have said it was real, by the way.
The guy on the left could be you a little bit, you know. Well, should we just call it there? There's 4 more. We could just do them in the
Let's save those. We'll save those.
Unzip. If you want to keep listening, just sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/poundcast.
Or watching if you want to.
I'm going to go through or watching. I'm going to go through the final 4, and we're going to maybe play a voicemail. And
we got a couple voicemails. Yeah,
we'll go through those voicemails. And what's the number for that voicemail? Somebody asked on the.
The number. Let me give it to you right now. It is 213-207-6952.
Okay. And we would like to thank Jack Birch. He's behind the boards helping us out. He's helping me out with the final episode of Pound House too. And what else? Guess that's about it.
I want to say this one last thing about license plates. I wonder if. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say, actually. Maybe I'll think about it later. No, go on Zip.
Okay. Maybe people will sign up for our Patreon.
This is what I was going to say. That it gives me something to do now when you're in traffic. You know, you can kind of look around at some of the other cars and start thinking, oh yeah, look at that. That's a 7. That's a 9. That's an 8. You know, that's kind of, you know, it might give you something to do. Well, if you live in California, you know.
Or you know what? If you live in your own state, try to come up with your own code. You know, put together the puzzle of what's up with these license plates in your own state.
Yeah.
How are they organizing? All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends.